the visual desirability, it's about the presentation. So when you talk about, again, going back to the example of the service versus product, so the iTunes was first presented, and then you've got that track wheel. I mean, iPod, Apple's iPod, actually the first version of iPod was really bulky, not like now. And it used to be, I think, just about a few MB of storage. And then it's a really bulky one, and then you need to actually move your, it's called track wheel. So you need to move your finger through the track wheel to move from one song to another, to switch through the songs. So a very, very visual way of actually going through the songs. And that was the most popular invention at that point of time. The track wheel was what made iPod in the late, I think, 2000s, very, very popular. And after that, you've got, the same technology was used for the iPhone, and they come up with a better interface. So it's all about presentation and how you can access your songs and things like that. So it's all about the, and then some people have got Apple iPods and everybody wanted it, right? So that's called the aspiration. So you want to make your product in such a way that, like, for example, the first iPhone that you come up with, the first version of the iPhone, everybody wants to buy it, or the Google Pixel, everybody wants to buy it. So there's an aspirational aspect of it. People want to belong to that club of the elite, the first few, the first movers, as what they call. So it's all about how you can make your product attractive, your service or product attractive to that market. And then again, we discussed this at length. I don't want to spend much time. The commercial viability. We talked about this example of the Concorde superjet, the very, very popular, fantastic technology, but still it was making losses. So who would want to actually spend 5 times the amount from London to fly from London to New York or back, and then pay 5 times? It was not just viable. You can still save a lot of time. That's fine. It was actually slashing the flying time almost to about 1/3. But what's the urgency? It was not really that popular with respect to the common sort of people, the mass. And then obviously they rejected that idea of Concorde, and it was a flop. Product was fantastic technically, and it was really fantastic to look at. Beautiful concept. It was designed using the what we call as lateral thinking. So the nose of the aircraft goes up and down depending on whether you're landing or you're flying normally or taking off. So it's a great technological marvel, amazing technology. But what use? It's not viable. It's not commercially viable. So it was a flop. So when you try and come up with a vision for your product, make sure that it is actually addressing all these aspects. As we discussed, it could be as simple as what is it? Is it primarily a product or a service or a blended one? And then define the market. Is it going to be a B2B, a business to business, or is it going to be a business to consumer, or is it going to be consumer to consumer, the peer-to-peer market? And then define the geography. Is it going to be in UK? Is it going to be in India? Is it going to be in China? So you also need to define the market. And then once you define the market, it could be the first launch, right? The MVP we were talking about, the minimum viable product. So depending on that, you can actually define, you can expand your reach later. So all these things are important. Who are your target audience? That's very important again. So I'll actually take you to the next set of courses. We talk about what we call as user profiling. So we create a profile, demographics, psychographics of the user profiling, demographics, attitudes, values, beliefs, their knowledge, their education system. Again, taking that as an example, your ATM product, for example, ATM card, for example, your the debit card that we use at the ATMs, great product. So that was supposed to be used across, not just, of course, leave alone the children, but nowadays they're using, but typically about 18 to 85 is the market. And then it should cut across different, men, women. It should be about, different educational background, whether they're educated or not. It's not about education. It's not about technological awareness, nothing about it. It should cut across all these spectra. And that's why it was supposed to be working across all the different strata of people everywhere in the world. And it did work. And they made it in such a way, the way it is designed, was easy to use, and not just easy to use, but also easy to learn for new people. And that's the whole crux of the success of ATM and the debit card.